We are live, sir. So, welcome, sir. Good evening to another episode of EVA podcast. I would say the role of intellectual property on startup valuations.
Very good evening, Raj. Thanks for hosting me. Another good session. So I hope we'll have some guests as well.
Oh, okay. So, if any guests would join in, I'll be more happy to host them. So, let's see. So, did we send them the links at the backend studio link?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So, before the host hops in, any learnings or any experiences today which you'd like to share, like IPR daily IPR news? Uh, anything which you want to share from your personal experiences, today's patents or today's trademark or copyright issues? In fact, I thought I'll add in some element of daily news of EVA, like a quick bulletin. They give top 10 in the regular mainstream media, right? So let me hear your experiences of how was work today with respect to patents or copyright or ISO.
Today, whole of India, the IP practitioners are actually thinking about the new rules, the new amended rules. So that is the hot topic for today. And going back into the time machine in patents or maybe trademarks. So maybe I didn't cover because since yesterday or maybe day before, we're all thinking about the major amendment made related to pre-grant and post-grant oppositions, wherein previously post-grant opposition after filing, it they are actually all taken. Taken means like patent office used to take all the oppositions filed online or offline, and they used to deal with them. But now the new rule says they will first conduct a hearing within 30 days with the opponent,
Okay.
and then they understand why and what made them file this opposition, and then only they accept the opposition, and also the fee related to opposition also. It is a small fee previously for opposing patent, a granted patent, but now a fee uh, equivalent to the fee paid by the applicant need to be paid by the opponent. So in
Okay.
such case, for example, if I want to oppose a granted patent of IBM or maybe a granted patent of Philips or
Okay.
Hyundai, so because they are normal entities and their application fee goes somewhere around 40 to 60,000,
Oh
whatever
God.
the fee they should have paid during the filing for their publication and examination. It goes approximately 40 to 60,000. That means if a small entity or a startup or an individual finds this patent is a compromise, or maybe this should not be granted because there is a product that I have developed, for example.
Okay.
That if that is the situation, then if I want to oppose oppose that patent, then I have to spend initially 60,000 to be paid, or 40,000, whatever the applicant should have paid,
Okay.
and it is not accepted. That means if my filing is not comprehensive, or for some reason I'm not engaging a very senior attorney or someone, and I myself file this, and by paying 40,000, and if the patent office says this opposition is not made correctly or maybe irrelevant, and if they oppose or if they won't accept my opposition after paying the fee.
Oh God. Is that
So this,
amount all completely lost, sir?
yes. So this is
Again,
one concern. Even I thought of asking in the online session with the. I wanted to ask to the controller general actually, but thought yeah, I may take this offline because this is one of the case. This is a one probability, but yeah, but there are other benefits of this thing because oppositions. I mean, there are pre-grant oppositions filed anonymously by people just to delay the grant of the patents, and even post-grant oppositions. Like there are situations like post-grant oppositions are filed just like that to threaten or maybe uh, to see the patents are cancelled, rectified in some cases. Like this opposition is used or misused by some. So now, like that may come down. That percentage of may come down. So that is the positive out of it. Anyway, so
Okay.
we'll take up our topic, which is importance of an IP audit or maybe how IPs can be monetized by startups.
Yes, sir. So the first question for this evening: how does intellectual property enhance a startup's valuation?
IP can be a game changer for a startup and a startup's valuation. Acting as a tangible asset, it reflects the startup's innovative capabilities.
Okay.
So, normally, startups won't have cash flows, so immediately on starting, or they won't be having assets as well,
Okay.
immovable assets. So all they will have is the idea and prototype or maybe an MVP initially built. So a strong IP portfolio, including patents, trademarks, and other forms of IPs like copyrights, designs, and trade secrets. And in case of someone maybe marketing mm, other products like could be other forms of IPs. So all these strong IP portfolio for a startup has unique for a startup having unique products or services with less risk of duplication by competitors. IP
Okay.
will safeguard them.
Okay. And so again, are there any examples, sir, for uh, like less risk of duplication by competitors in the strong IP portfolio?
We'll take example of Theranos. Theranos is a startup. It showcased its extensive patent portfolio. It not only claimed the their revolutionary product that is into blood testing actually, but
Okay.
also significantly boosted its valuation based on the market exclusivity.
Okay. So again,
So
so I wonder if Theranos is Indian based. It's a consumer health technology startup. They say
yes,
$10 billion.
yes,
Um,
this is
which
a yeah,
yes, sir. Please go ahead.
and we have other startups as well. So IP Indian startups as well. Like our client yesterday, we discussed AODH Life Sciences, out Life Sciences, and we have other into automobile startup one Hyderabad Innovations.
Okay.
So they are demonstrating IP portfolios to actually attract investment or maybe traction to get the initial orders as well the follow-up orders. So this is where like this is when intellectual property enhance the startup's valuation.
Okay. So with respect to Hyderabad innovations, I guess these are our clients, right, sir?
Yes,
Eva Tech.
yes. So they have
Okay.
design grants for all of the components they custom develop, and they have this utility grant as well for the particular to those two models which you are actually showing. So
Okay.
that BS4, I mean for bikes like Avenger, and even for the Activa, the recent models. Like they have this stability control mechanism for that the front two-wheeled conversion kit. It
Okay.
can be conversion kit, or it can be if the companies allow them to partner with them.
Okay.
They are into advanced negotiations with multiple automobile giants, two-wheeler giants. So if that goes well, now for now, like they are actually selling these conversion kits, and which are allowed as per normal in state regulations, and they got IPs. Their strength is IP, so they don't have any other valuation apart from their IPs, and they have the product ready. They are demonstrating, they are testing. It even tested testings completed.
Okay. I mean, this bike, is it only that it doesn't fall, or is it only that it doesn't skid?
There are two levels of innovation here. One is like, doesn't fall or doesn't skid. That is the key of it. Otherwise, it has a stability control mechanism where like you should. There is no need like you have to step your foot onto the ground when it is in zero
Okay.
motion. So it automatically it's like a three-wheeler or regular thing which is standing on its own. So though it has that very limited curve, like the distance between the front two wheels is very less. Within that 150 centimeters of radius, 150 centimeters of the distance, which is considered as a two-wheeler only, not as three-wheeler, as per the available norms.
Oh, okay. So there is a catch. As in, so a woman who doesn't know how to ride the bike, they can leverage this invention, and I mean, they don't fall down, right, if they ride the bike.
Yes.
Okay, so this is very good example for this particular question. In fact, okay, I love that. So again, intellectual property enhancing a startup's valuation. I guess this Hyderabad innovations definitely plays major role compared to the. I mean, Theranos again as a blood testing startup, which is also into its valuation game. So now jumping into the next question for this evening, sir, what types of IP are most attractive to investors?
Investors obviously see patents because, like, be it is a service or product of the startup, so they obviously see utility patents as the interest. But um, especially for the tech companies, so they are highly attractive to utility patents. But otherwise, like trademarks are also very critical, and even your other forms. So it can be copyrights or trade secrets when we talk about their marketing strategy, their unique way of selling the service or product. So all these are all very important. So any form of IP is good, but obviously, investors are more interested if the startup has a patent grant, or at least a patent application in its advanced stage.
Okay. So again, would there be any legal barriers, sir, for these IPs which are quite attractive to investors?
Legal barriers like the during the due diligence or maybe IP valuation, when an investor coming in, so they'll do a due diligence and IP valuation. And while they do IP valuation, they importantly consider the citations mentioned or maybe cited by the examiners during the examination of these patent applications, and as well freedom to operate research done by the startup internally. before filing the application, uh, and a patentability research report connected by maybe one or more third parties before actually filing this application, because they want to be sure this patent uh, won't be challenged, or if challenged, if ever challenged also, it will hold good. So that would be their concern. So they'll do a valuation in their terms, and they consider, or they definitely ask for freedom to operate searches or patentability searches that are connected by startups internally before filing, or maybe between filing of their provisional application and complete specification. Yes, and they also see the internal monthly IP valuation reports,
Oh, okay.
uh, whether they are identifying, or maybe in that process of identifying new improvements of the product or service. So these are the important things, like the valuation or maybe values or the investors see when they are coming in.
Okay, sir. So, with respect to startups leveraging IP during fundraising pitches, how can startups leverage IP, their intellectual property, during fundraising pitches, sir?
In fundraising pitches, startups should actually strategically present their IP assets, focusing on how these assets underpin their unique value proposition and competitive advantage. And so they have to um, um, take some. I mean, obviously they have to take the competitors, but not about the competitors' sales or maybe their growth. Rather, actually, the technological comparison between the competitors' products, or the products available in the market, and these products, their products. So a well articulated plan for how the IP will be protected is also important to be presented, and what are all the avenues for commercialization, they are need to be presented, and further developments, if any, are in the future improvements for the product or service. Those are to be presented well to win the investors' confidence. So demonstrating the active management and strategic use of IP, like how they are actually going to use this IP, uh, the initial IPs they are planning, and the future IPs they may file, how they are effectively planning to use them. This is also very important. Whether they are whether they cross license to cross license in some other jurisdictions, if
Yeah,
they are not targeting immediately to launch into the market, example pan India, they are only targeting one or two states initially. Then what about their plans of partnership with the manufacturer in maybe in North India or some other part of India? And what are their plans to franchising, or maybe uh, uh, giving service centers, or maybe third parties who can, like Apple does sales through their Aptronics
okay,
Indian entity. That means, like they will get the products manufactured in Taiwan, China, or maybe in Singapore, and they'll be brought here, and they are traded by Aptronics and serviced by a set of Aptronics again. So this way, they don't have uh, the infrastructure burden, or maybe the network they have to build. Though this is the strategy been taken by all other electronics manufacturers as well, but that is a unique approach. So like
okay,
that, the startups has to demonstrate actively how they manage their IP and how they use their IP, as Fitbit did with its wearable technology patents. that you are showing. So demonstrating the active management and strategic use of IP as Fitbit did with its wearable technology patents can effectively convey the startup's growth potential and commitment to maintaining its competitive edge.
Okay.
And
In fact,
yeah,
this is something which I didn't know. Earlier, I knew about Fitbit, but in 2021, Google acquired Fitbit for $2 billion is something which I was not aware of.
yes,
Uh, this was news anyway. So again, with respect to Fitbit as a startup, uh, so during the fundraising pitches, I guess I don't know what could be the Fitbit patents. If I probably this is something um, which needs to be there. There is a patent list of they have so many for wearable.
yes, yes. So all these are US patents actually.
Oh God, they have hundreds of them.
Designs. Yeah, I mean Australia, US are the US applications and US designs.
Okay, so okay, the patent list is updated, but I guess maybe going through the patent, we have to go through another way or another workaround, I guess.
Yes,
Which is good, sir. I mean, this is something as a startup. We knew that wearable technology was just growing after pandemic or in, I guess, in 1819. One of our NRI friend who gifted Fitbit, I was surprised that it was showing my breath and my heart, mainly the heart rate and
yeah.
the pulse and all that. So I guess the Apple devices also now, which you have, shows the same. So jumping into the next question for this evening, sir. What role does IP due diligence play in startup investments?
IP due diligence, like we discussed in our previous question also, IP due diligence play an important and critical step for investors to come in.
Okay,
So um, they'll first actually assess the legality, that is like whether the IPs are filed in all the jurisdictions that they have market, whether the startup identified the market first, and then whether the IPs are identified, all of the IPs are identified or not within their work, and then whether these IPs are actually filed in all the jurisdictions, or maybe if we have time frame, whether those timelines or maybe the budgeting for that is in place or not. So
okay,
due diligence by an investor before coming in is very critically concentrated around the startups IPs and their planning. So this
okay,
process uncovers potential risks and liabilities, such as pending litigations or maybe weak IPs, or the claims or the content of the applications, mm, uh, the weakness of the applications, and or if there are any infringement risks. For example,
okay,
we somehow filed this application. Like startup has filed a couple of applications, for example, and um, the patentability research is not done properly, and the investors, after seeing this application and seeing, they can easily search for citations which are filed or there before this filing date, and on seeing it, like they'll come to know where proper patentability research is not done, because like they haven't covered, or they haven't circumvented that particular citation. So this is the
okay,
risk they'll identify. So, and which could impact the investment's viability and the startup's valuation as well. And due diligence can either um, strengthen the startup's position in terms of investors' beliefs or interests, or it may worsen the situation. Like there cannot be a deal after the due diligence if they find, like if the investors find there are loops or maybe there are risks involved when this regarding the IPs.
Okay.
So due diligence can either solidify an investor's interest or as seen with Facebook's acquisition of WhatsApp after their due diligence. So where IP assets were thoroughly vetted, or and or there are no red flags, and that could, if there are any red flags, that could have halted their acquisition. So there means like there are no red flags, and WhatsApp had or the team had very good IP strategy and planning, and as well filed IPs in the jurisdictions they had to file, and they are not aggressive selling uh, well before they reach their target audience or may they acquire the target audience, and they have taken care of every aspect, so that like Facebook had acquired it with a good number.
Okay. So again, this is with respect to some swipe messages or something related to um, the texting or the text replies.
Yes,
One of the patents. Do you still have that software patents book next to your table, sir? That I
yes.
remember the last time. So if you could show that and probably give us an insights about, if you can, probably let's take a quick, as it's been like 25 minutes, like quick
It's
commercial.
not with me. The book is not with me, but I'm what I'm doing is like I'm scanning on Spotify, I mean Speechify,
Okay.
and then I'm reading using the app itself. So it's very useful for me these days, and
Okay.
I target like I will complete that book. It is very interesting. There are a lot
Okay.
of things actually to be learned.
Okay. So this is like software patents by, could you, like, do you recall the author's name?
Isaac. No,
Software.
sorry. No. It's software patents by, uh, my bad.
That's
Forgot
okay.
the,
Yeah, there are so many huge books out there. Okay. I probably see that. I just Googled it. Let me see if I can bring this up. I guess this is the one.
yes. Yeah. Stops.
Yeah, Gregory Stops. Yeah. I mean, I remember the big black book which you showed me the last time.
Yeah.
Again, so this is never before a resource broken. But don't you think this book or the knowledge in this software patents is obsolete, sir? It's been over a decade. So I wonder what accuracy or what it applies to the current 2024 environment. Because as an IPR attorney, you would be the best person to judge or to work on the legal protection which it offers.
Even
So,
I, even actually, someone suggested this book last month in Jan. Actually, I searched for the current edition, but I could only find this edition of 2014, which has been
oh,
reprinted and been sold on Amazon.
oh, okay,
Even I thought the same way, like what this 2014 version I should read, but after starting reading this book, it's all telling about how this software patenting system evolved.
okay,
So it's not dealing with how you prosecute an application today in 2024. It is telling about how it evolved and what are the basics. So though there are guidelines as per Indian Patent Act for computer-related inventions, so it only speaks about what not to do. So
okay,
it doesn't speak about, or there is no book till date. I read about software patents, all says about what not to do, but what to do, there is no book. So this book is telling about what to do to get a patent for a software.
Okay, this is awesome, sir. In fact, we can invite our the BS standards, BIS standards, the other guests who were there in our audio LinkedIn live audio event.
Yes.
I forgot his name. So probably we can invite and talk to them about the changes in the current, not last decade, but in the last after pandemic. So
Yeah.
probably the changes after pandemic and all. So now jumping in back to the set of questions, sir. So can a strong IP opposition help startups in negotiating with investors? Um, so if
Yeah,
there is an
definitely. A strong IT position. We took the example of WhatsApp or any other bigger acquisition in the last 5, 6 years or 10 years. So a strong IP position helps startups in negotiating with investors. So this is 200% true. So it empowers startups in investment negotiations, obviously, and enabling them to command higher valuations and better terms. So that means like they can bargain on the stake they wish to give to the investors, and they can negotiate on the terms of maybe the exit plan that the investors may ask for. And even the if the IP are strong, then there won't be like even investors won't ask for an exit in most of the cases. So strong defensible IP assets reduce the risk for investors and can lead to more favorable investment terms, obviously. And Snapchat's early emphasis on patenting its unique messaging technology, for instance, was crucial in its negotiations with its investors, highlighting the leverage IP can provide. So Snapchat is the best example, or maybe WhatsApp is the best example. So their negotiations, when they are valued or when they are mm, getting acquired.
okay, cool, sir. I was just also checking it parallelly with any kind of engagement on LinkedIn, by the way. So how should startups manage their IP, sir, to maintain and increase valuation?
They should actually adopt a proactive approach for management, because like there will be timelines to um, for filing, after filing, during the prosecution, for extending their rights in other jurisdictions, payment of renewal fees. All these things are like to be managed very proactively. So they could either have a software system to manage their IP assets, or they can have a dedicated resource, or maybe an IPR services firm for managing their timelines. It can be filing of replies to the examination reports, or paying the fees, the renewal fees, or maybe extending their priority in the initial days, extending their priority in other jurisdictions, and also to also conducting the freedom to operate searches, or maybe watching the competitors or maybe the technology in terms of whether someone is actually filing patents in the same domain similar to us, or improvement on top of our inventions, on top of citing our patents as their prior arts, whether someone is actually filing improvement applications. This need to be a very proactive thing. This is what like even we for our clients. So this is the 50% of work what we do on daily basis. So it can be trademarks, it can be utility patents, it can be designs, corporates won't come into this picture, like watching and maybe improving on what competitors are doing, but regularly updating the IP portfolio and staying vigilant to the industry trends ensures the startup remains at the forefront of innovation. And seen with best example, Tesla's ongoing expansion of its electric vehicles and battery technology patents, or
Okay.
even Indian companies like Tata Motors, mainly into their hydrogen powered vehicles. They are actually coming up with, or maybe electrical powered vehicles, four wheelers, two wheelers. They are coming up with, or Honda India coming up with the range of electrical vehicles. TVS coming up with electrical vehicles, and TVS may see like TVS are at forefront. Example, I cannot disclose at this point in time, but we have seen one of our clients automobile, so which TVS is interested in investing. So that is where like you see watch the market, and even Facebook did acquired WhatsApp for that reason. So it had that traction rather equivalent to Facebook's users, like WhatsApp do have had the users, and for that reason, actually, WhatsApp been acquired by Facebook. So
Okay.
staying vigilant will give lot of advantages. One, you have your IPs intact, and you have the competitors or maybe the giants looking at you may watch you as well, and then it's a value for you.
Yeah, even I see compared to like the TVS example which you had shown, this is what I was super excited about. Bajaj Chetak launching as in um,
Yeah,
it's like though the Chetak Electric, with respect to their, I don't think it will be called as a startup, but again they are managing their IP to increase the valuation. It's a competitive market, I suppose.
yeah,
They are selling emotions because Chetak is close to almost everybody. So again, we know that be it Good Night or any other product, they always carry the emotions of the family or the emotions of the children with the, whatever the product which they sell.
yes,
Uh, so definitely, those are great insights, sir. Any startup updating their IP portfolio with the industry strengths, industry trends. Even I love that Tesla's example which you had given. So
Waterproof, noiseproof, threat-proof.
jumping into the next,
you saw
what?
that last word, load proof.
Yeah,
Chatak is known for.
yeah. I mean, they
They are
have.
selling. Yeah, they are selling on emotions. They're trying to sell on emotion, but it is true. Like it is a proven two wheeler. Uh, they
Yeah, again, it's
rightly naming it as load proof.
yeah. It's like they're too good with it. In fact, I shouldn't have closed the screen there, the one which you highlighted, because I was also super happy seeing that.
Waterproof, noiseproof,
So this
threat-proof,
this
load-proof,
part,
dustproof, bump-proof, bounce-proof,
dust-proof, load-proof.
splash-proof, bodyproof. The electric
Uh,
Chetak.
I mean,
Fully
I didn't know what
life-proof.
was load-proof meant, but is it heavy load
Waterproof,
or
noiseproof, threat-proof, load-proof, dustproof,
third-proof
bump-proof,
also?
bounce-proof,
They have
splash-proof.
some.
Load proof as well, lead proof.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah, load
just.
proof means like, yeah, it is known for it, right? So 3 people, 4 people, 5 people
Waterproof, noiseproof,
are
threat-proof,
driving
load-proof,
at it.
dustproof, bump-proof, bounce-proof, splash-proof, stain-proof, bodyproof. The electric
Pain and
Chetak.
worry is
Fully
okay, but
life-proof.
that was like life proof, fully
Fully
life
light
proof.
proof.
So that's they. I don't know if they have trademarked that life proof term.
Yeah, yeah, they
Anybody can,
have. They had.
just like we all know waterproof, or we all. I mean, waterproof is a common term, like the way a word Band-Aid from Johnson and Johnson. But any startup, I guess they should catch up with those. Um, viral words. So again, the impact of international IP protection, sir. What is the impact of international IP protection on startup valuation?
That's what we are talking about. Jurisdiction they had to cover, because like technology startups, or maybe any startup these days, it's not like they sell it in India, or in maybe in South India. So the market is available for them. It's not limited to India, or maybe some part of India. So they have potential, or maybe this product or service would have definitely have potential uh, that can be sold worldwide. So if they are first thing, like they have to timely file their IPs in the home country. It can be not only in India, it can be anywhere, because they have to file in their home country. So though, as we are talking about Indian startups, so first they can file it in India. So because like it is cost effective as well. Both like the patents, designs, and all the three trademarks.
Okay.
Like we are talking about life proof, load proof, these terms. So Chetak, before launching or before throwing out this ad, the trial teaser, they should have filed all these terms as trademarks, so, or the service marks. Like
Okay.
we should have filed already. But the same strategy, it is very important. It's not a cost. IP filing is not a cost per startup. We are talking about this thing in the initial session also I told. IPs are the first to be considered to be filed, irrespective of its cost. It is not costly in India. We are not sitting in USA or in other countries where like the costs are much more. And trademark filing 4,500 rupees government fee, patent filing around 8,000 or 12,000 rupees for patent filing, the government fee, and the service fees is waived under the SAPP scheme, or they can learn how to file, they can file directly, or they can take help of a trademark attorney or patent agent, part of SAPP scheme, and then they can file these IPs with
Okay.
less cost. But these are the things to be filed. IPs are to be first created. Otherwise, like they don't have anything. So they won't. They won't. It's not like their idea itself is enough to pitch in and get investment and actually go to the market. So they have to create
Okay.
create value for their products, for their products and services by filing IPs. And securing international IPs definitely allows them to reach global markets, so significantly enhancing their valuation by opening up cross-border revenues
Okay.
opportunities. So they can cross-license if they have they can do business in India, and meanwhile they can, if they have a patent also filed in US or in Europe, and they had a grant, they can start negotiating, or maybe pitching with a company over there which is into similar business, and license the IP to them, so that like they can enter in that market very easily. Like Maruti Suzuki combination we have, Hero Honda combination we have previously in automobiles. All these are like the technology they have. The Koreans are the Chinese had, and then so they find a company who is manufacturing, or who can manufacture here. And with a joint venture, they can transfer the IPs or license the IPs, and the person or the company here can quickly get that product into the market. So
Okay.
it opens the broader revenue opportunities, and for tech startups like Spotify. So as an example, international patent and trademark protections have been crucial for their global expansion. So
Okay.
safeguarding their streaming technology and brand in key markets worldwide, so including India. So
I
thereby
guess.
maintaining their valuation and market potential.
I guess Prime Video with the international market, or Netflix. Everybody who is in the international
Prime,
space.
Amazon is known. Amazon is known, but if you take a startup like Spotify, uh, Ghana. Ghana actually had this technology way back. We are seeing it, and even but they cannot. Spotify actually now crossing Ghana or any other app.
Okay. So
With the simple improvements, right? So Ghana, we know like we can carry it's an app-based streaming thing, but Spotify had that improvements and other options which are different, and that took the market.
okay, so this is great, sir. As in, so shall we continue with the rest, or shall we? I mean, schedule it for tomorrow, depending upon um, the rest of the series. Should we continue right now, or should we schedule it for tomorrow? Or
Yeah, we'll continue this tomorrow also. So we'll see as we are testing. We'll so we are not actually maybe inviting someone or maybe sharing our live streaming that we'll optimize and we'll continue. It's an ongoing thing.
okay. So for now, I guess there are like three more in the list, but should we schedule it for tomorrow, sir? Or
Yes.
okay. So again, there was another startup on Suvolto, but that's fine, sir. Thank you so much. So for anybody who is watching in the replay, please make sure you comment with the hashtag replay. Make sure um, uh, make sure you share or like and subscribe as well. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. So as this is like closed backend studio, again with respect to the startup series or the other upcoming lessons for IPR. Today is the second day of working on this, and definitely we would play, as in we will again play multiple ways of doing this. Probably we'll invite guests, or we'll call it a panel discussion on so and so. As we do have 8 more slots for the panel. In fact, 8 more guests can definitely join in. So we will
Okay.
invite panel from various industries on patent related to startups, or probably a couple of our patent clients, and continue with the series. And tomorrow evening we'll catch up at 6 with the rest of the series.
Okay. Thank you, Raj. So thank you for
Yeah,
hosting and very good evening. Good evening to
yeah,
all who will be listening. Yeah.
yeah. And I request you to please stay in this backstage, sir. I'll just end the stream, but you can continue staying in the back stream for a minute.